The Department of Immigration and Customs Enforcement has been thrust into the spotlight once again. A leaked memo revealed a chilling plan: the mass deportation of children. This plan specifically targets children who arrived in the United States without their parents. Many of these children fled violence and poverty, seeking safety and a chance at a better life. Now they face the terrifying prospect of being sent back to the very dangers they escaped. The plan hinges on a disturbing strategy. ICE intends to leverage data from the Office of Refugee Resettlement, gaining access to information about children and their sponsors. This access is facilitated by reinstated Trump-era policies, including mandatory fingerprinting of adults in sponsor households. The chilling implication is that even families who stepped forward to provide safe haven for these vulnerable children are now at risk. This plan has sent shockwaves of fear and uncertainty through immigrant communities across the country. The cruelty of tearing children away from any semblance of stability they have managed to build is unconscionable. These are children, many of whom have known no other home than the United States. The government claims this plan is necessary to combat human trafficking. However, this justification rings hollow. Critics argue that disrupting these children's lives will not effectively address trafficking. Instead, it will likely worsen the problem by driving vulnerable children further into the shadows, making them even more susceptible to exploitation. The Trump administration's family separation policy, which tore thousands of children away from their parents at the border, serves as a stark warning. This policy, widely condemned as inhumane and ineffective, resulted in lasting trauma for countless children. It is a haunting echo of the past that amplifies the fear and outrage surrounding the current deportation plan. One of the most concerning aspects of the plan is its impact on potential sponsors. The threat of surveillance and potential deportation creates a chilling effect, discouraging families from coming forward to provide safe and loving homes for these children. This fear will likely lead to more children being held in detention centers for prolonged periods, further traumatizing them. The plan's reliance on the flawed premise that deporting children will combat trafficking is deeply troubling. This approach ignores the complex realities of trafficking and the urgent need for comprehensive solutions that address the root causes of this heinous crime. Instead of punishing the victims, the government should be focusing its efforts on dismantling trafficking networks and providing support and protection to those who have been exploited. Adding to the injustice, the plan unfolds against a backdrop of relentless attacks on the rights of immigrant children. Federally funded legal aid, a lifeline for unaccompanied children navigating the complexities of the immigration system, is under threat. The recent suspension of funding and the looming expiration of the legal aid contract in March 2025 paint a bleak picture for these vulnerable children. Legal representation is paramount in immigration proceedings. Studies have shown that children with access to legal counsel are significantly more likely to be allowed to remain in the United States. Without legal aid, these children face an uphill battle against a system that often feels designed to defeat them. The potential consequences of this loss of legal assistance are dire. The assault on immigrant children's rights extends beyond the courtroom. State legislatures across the country are introducing bills that would deny undocumented children access to public education. These bills, a direct challenge to the landmark Supreme Court ruling in Plyler v. Doe, which guarantees all children the right to education, threaten to create a generation of children trapped in a cycle of poverty and marginalization. Denying children access to education is not only morally reprehensible, but also economically short-sighted. This mass deportation plan is not an isolated incident. It is part of a larger, more disturbing trend of increasingly restrictive and punitive immigration policies. This trend is embodied in efforts to dismantle birthright citizenship, a fundamental right enshrined in the 14th Amendment. The administration's attempts to end birthright citizenship for children of undocumented immigrants, despite court orders halting these efforts, are deeply concerning. If successful, this could render millions of US-born children stateless, stripping them of their rights and their place in American society. This attack on birthright citizenship is a direct assault on the very fabric of our nation. The United States has long been a beacon of hope for immigrants, a place where people from all over the world come to build a better life for themselves and their families. These policies are not about protecting our borders or upholding the rule of law. They are about sowing fear and division, scapegoating immigrants for political gain. The human cost of these policies is immeasurable. We are a nation of immigrants, and our diversity is our strength. It is time for our leaders to embrace compassionate and humane immigration policies that reflect our values as a nation. Stay tuned for more information at the Law Office of Shireen Samanani.